Hello everybody, welcome back to F1 Manager 24, and we're diving into Austria, a very, very high speed circuit, which I'm hoping would suit our car somewhat. I'm not 100% sure. We've mainly got to worry about the drivers more than anything else. But yes, Austria, Filip Drugovich, Oliver Bearman, both still here. Money is tight, $524,000, which I think is going to be wiped out because we've got to emergency manufacture some new suspension. But we are getting close to the halfway point of the season, which then you get a board review. And we're not actually doing dreadful in our board review. Board confidence is medium. So, you know, they're satisfied with our finances, our objectives, and our race performance. We're currently below our target of 6th, which is a bit of a concern. But we are going to be, hopefully, picking up some more points in upcoming races. Yeah, we get to the halfway review, right? And the board give us a bit of money if we're doing okay, which would be delightful. I'm just thinking if there was like any sort of like anything from the subject from the board. I want to see, did I... Okay, 2 applied. Why have I got 2? Oh, no, not unread. Apply and filter. 1 applied. See, there's nothing from the board, so I haven't missed that message yet. Or that does say subject, but maybe finances, if I go finances. Oh no, that's just the replies to let me know that we're in debt. Okay, I've never used the filter system on this before, so let's clear all the filters, apply and return, and get back to the top up here. Yeah, okay, so we haven't got anything from our board yet to say, you know, this is the halfway point and this is how well you're doing. They're probably going to be a little bit pissed off, but we do have to go and get some new suspension because we've only got 1 available. It's currently on the car, so we're going to have to emergency manufacture a new bit of suspension. That costs $900,000, which is it's going to cost $1.2 million, which is going to leave us with minus $675,000. Oh well, it's done. It's done. It has to be done. But the good news coming into this, if we can have any sort of good news, is that both of our drivers aren't unhappy. They're both sort of, you know, straight line face, which is fine. Nothing too much of that. We are racing at Austria in this one. A decent circuit for us, to be honest. It is going to say it's going to rain during the sprint, which could make things a little bit interesting. But yeah, I mean, car attributes. I mean, if we look at this, rank on grid 7th and 12th, car 2 is just much better for Ollie Bearman in terms of pace. It has the new front wing, which allows it to have better low speed, high speed and medium speed corners. I don't know why I went low, high, medium. I should have gone low, medium, high. But anyway, better DRS effectiveness and engine cooling is slightly worse, but no one cares about engine cooling. So I'm going to put this out into the universe. I'm expecting Ollie Bearman to score us points. But we're going to go 12th or higher with Filip Drugovich. And we are going to go 11th or higher because I'm expecting points from Ollie Bearman. He's got a car underneath him to get points. I'll do practice. We'll be back for the sprint. Alright, we're here for sprint qualifying for Brawn. And as I said, I'm pretty excited by how we could do. We were putting older... I think we're going to give the drivers a new engine. We are struggling on ERS. We're at the halfway point. 11. This is the 11th race of a 22 race season, or is it a 24 race season and Silverstone's the middle? I can't remember. But anyway, yes, we are struggling with ERS in car 1. Everything else might be able to make it to the end of the season. In terms of car 2, engine should be okay. Yeah, again, ERS looking like a bit of a problem. There'll be a new ERS system being bought for Ollie Bearman at some point. And yeah, we use that really knackered gearbox. He does have a brand new one still in there, so that's not too bad. But let's get into sprint qualifying. We should get both drivers out of Q1 for sprint qualifying. It is going to be wet, right? Okay, not in Q1. So lots of people are going out early, which I'm thinking means rain is on the way. So I say lots of people. Ocon and K-Mag, not too many people. Alright, we've set a banker lap of which we've gone quicker than Russell and Hamilton, but slower than Stroll, Sainz, Piastri, Verstappen and Norris, which makes sense. We're not as quick as the McLarens, Red Bulls, Ferraris, the Aston Martins, probably quicker than us. It's the Tsunoda and Ricciardo partnership at V-Carb we want to go and beat. So I think we're going to go out for another lap on the same set of tyres with both drivers. As you can see, that is Drugovich there leading the line. A bit of motion blur back on in the game, even though I've turned it off in the little engine.ini file, in the hidden folders and all that stuff. But it does look like we've got enough pace potentially to get out of Q1, which is all we need. And yeah, this is only just a bit of practice for the drivers, really, in terms of qualifying, getting used to the circuit a little bit more. Ollie Behrman has got, that was a very fast approaching Mercedes doing a lap. Who's out doing that lap then? Nobody at the moment, I think. Who's out doing a flying lap? Oh, it's George Russell doing a flying lap. So is he going to improve? George Russell was he only just goes above Drugovic though, who's just started his flying lap. So Drugovic at the end of sprint qualifying 1 is going to catch up with no one. It's actually Ollie Behrman that's going to be catching up with a McLaren, and he's gone round him, past him nicely at a DRS zone. So Ollie Behrman flying down the DRS straight. He's going to catch up with a few drivers as well. Hopefully doesn't hit them at a bad time. Hopefully they get out of the way. Obviously we're watching this in 2x speed if you're wondering why it's going so quick, as the V-carb does get out the way. P10 for Filip Drugovic. That's not too bad, as Ollie Behrman comes down to finish his lap. He's currently in P5, so I'm not too worried if he doesn't improve. And he doesn't, but that is good. Drugovic did find time though, so okay, we're both through, I think. So in sprint qualifying 1, we actually finished 6th and 11th. So it was Oscar Piastri, I think, that jumped ahead of us towards the end. But we lose Charles Leclerc, Ocon, Gasly, Guan Yu Zhou, Kevin Magnussen and Nico Hülkenberg. So Charles Leclerc is the surprise one there. The Ferrari man is out in Q1 for the sprint, but we go into Q2. Now, Behrman is in a very good position here and should, if he can repeat his feat, get into Q3 and be in a very good position for the sprint. We're going to send out Drugovic first, and then we'll send out Behrman. Oh, he's probably close enough to get a good tow there, actually, off Piastri. But the banker laps are going to be set. We'll come back for the second lap. Okay, we've got a red flag. It was Yuki Tsunoda spinning off, smashing into the wall, and that is him going to be out. So he's not going to be getting through into Q1, which is good for us because we are battling the V-carb Red Bulls for points. And we need to get, but as you can see, 4th and 8th at the moment. Drugovic setting a good time. The tow behind Piastri for Behrman didn't really work as we would have hoped. So we do need more fresh air than anything else in this qualifying, it seems. And I made a mistake on a separate save I've got where I'm managing Haas. I pressed send out before the red flag had finished, and it just means your driver can never do qualifying ever again in that race, which was a little bit irritating. But we will wait until, I think we're going to try and time this towards the end of the session. Yeah, you can see a lot of people coming out there. So I think we're going to go here and here. Just give us a nice bit of space for Drugovic and Behrman. They shouldn't really catch any others up. Everybody starting fast laps at the right time, which is great. So we're going to get free air as Drugovic stays 5th. Ollie Behrman hasn't gone quicker though. So Ollie Behrman doesn't improve. Hamilton and Sainz will. Behrman, oh, Hamilton did, but isn't enough. Sainz does. It's all now dependent on Logan Sargent, who I imagine isn't going to improve. Hamilton's finished his lap. Bottas looks like he's on a slow lap. I think we're through with both drivers here. In lap, in lap, in lap. Fast lap is Alex Albon. Is Alex Albon going to put us out? It's a 1:04.7. No, he's not. That was last lap, not best lap. But yeah, good. We are through, both drivers, into Q3 for the sprint. So into Q3 means we get to use a set of soft tyres for this one. It shows there is pace in this car at the right circuits. And that is what we've got to depend on. I think we're going to send them out early. Try and avoid the traffic, he says, as Drugovic comes out right behind Lance Stroll. But yeah, again, we'll do 2 laps like normal. Behrman is going to catch Alonso, catches him at a good point in the circuit. And there's a yellow flag because Sainz is locked up. As yeah, Drugovic 1.16 seconds off Verstappen. And Behrman 1.28 off Verstappen. That Red Bull is a rocket machine. But we are both ahead of Daniel Ricciardo, which is the important thing that we're worried about at the moment, really. Let's get that set of softs back on. And I'm sort of thinking, do we go straight back out? So Ricciardo's coming in, Perez is in, Norris is in, and Alonso's in. Is anyone going to go back out? Yeah. Should we follow Max Verstappen? Let's follow Max Verstappen. I feel like that's a good idea. We'll follow Max Verstappen with both of our drivers, and we'll chase the quickest car in the race around the circuit, as we're actually going to do. Bearman improved. Ricardo improved. Damn it. It's going to be 9th and 10th. Not bad. So into the sprint we go, where there is apparently heavy rain coming. And it is suggesting softs to inters. Let's have a quick look then. Track graph. Oh my word. Is that going to be just inters? I wish you could see. So that's 0. You'd imagine that's going to be wets, right? Or is that the crossover into... That might be the crossover into inters. We'll have to... Yeah, we'll have to see, because grip's going to go down. I mean, I guess we just go with what they've suggested. We could probably push the tyres a little bit on the softs as well. Although it says these are quicker, it's because it's not bringing in the weather. And then I guess we just play it by ear. If we think we need to pit a bit earlier, we pit a bit earlier. But we're starting 9th and 10th. We're in good positions. It's all just going to be dependent on how people react to the weather. Not much else we can do then. We've just got to play this by ear. Hopefully the rain comes. Our weather centre isn't great. We're going to do the sprint a bit quicker and then come back for the main race. So don't be too alarmed if you don't see too much action in this. But we'll just have a quick look at the start then. Obviously into helicopter cam for the start, as we're going to lose a place for Drugovic. Bearman keeps 9th in behind Daniel Ricciardo, but Drugovic loses out to Hamilton as Bearman is pushing a little bit. Both our drivers have quite poor reactions off the line, which is something I'd like to improve. But we'll see how this goes as Hamilton looking up the inside. It's a nice little move as the traffic... Oh! Alright, George. Bloody hell. That was aggressive. Give some of that back to him. High aggression. What's happened to Bearman? Bearman is just driving in the grass. What is that? Come on, guys. We're going aggressive. We're going aggressive. High risk overtakes. Ollie Bearman just driving in the grass. Drugovic up into 10th. We need 8th for points. And Ricardo's in 7th, which is a nightmare. As we've got Perez spinning. Perez has spun. Has he dropped down the order? Verstappen. Perez is there. Yes, he has. He already has dropped down the order. But yeah, so we're following Drugovic, who's having a look up the inside of George Russell, or Lewis Hamilton's in front of him. But yeah, not the best start. What is going on with Ollie Bearman? Why is he dropping back so much? DRS is now enabled, but yeah, that is not good from Ollie Bearman, dropping down to 15th. He's got no damage to his car. Everything's all okay. He needs to sort his race out. So we're coming back as Ollie Bearman's having a look at Sergio Perez. I think Checo Perez has just cut him off a little bit, both drivers with DRS. Although Ollie Bearman's leaving this in there with his aggressive overtakes on, having a look up the inside, up the hill. Not going to get that done. He will have DRS here though. But yeah, the rain is not far away apparently. 5 laps into the sprint and the rain is imminent apparently, according to our radio engineers. So the rain has started earlier than we thought. But that's not a problem. Bottas has a mechanical fault. Drugovic has overtaken... well, he was overtaking Ricciardo. They've obviously switched back places. Ollie Bearman's overtaken Albon, as has Perez. So both drivers are closing in on Ollie Bearman's teammate as Filipe Drugovic up here, who is losing pace a little bit to both V-carbs, which is a little bit annoying. But Oliver Bearman is in the better car, so he will have more pace. You can see Perez driving much, much quicker. And Bearman is much better in the wet, like in the crossover period between dries or slicks to inters and inters to wet. It is Bearman is the much better driver, so Drugovic might be in a bit of trouble here. We'll keep an eye on it, and we've just got to get our pit stop time right. Okay, so we've got the front runners coming into pit. We're at 0.7 now. How quickly is this coming? It's coming down quick, isn't it? We have to pit. We basically have to pit. So Drugovic has gone to shit. He's dropped down to 15th. He's been an absolute cockwomble. We're going to go to inters now for Ollie. I think there's going to be a big enough gap that we can get them both in and out on the same lap, to be honest. Unless, no, yeah, it's going to be inters weather by the time Drugovic gets to the pit stop, I think. So Ollie Bearman does enter the pits. We just get it in time for Ollie Bearman to come in. So we might be able to jump someone in the pits, you never know. Ollie Bearman may get it right, but the weather is really, yeah, definitely right decision to call both drivers in at the same time. Obviously, Ollie Bearman has to go all the way to the end, which is the worst pit stop place because you can get held quite a lot. So intermediate tyres go on. It's a good stop, but yeah, we're getting held because all the other traffic has to go past because we're at the last. We're the last one. Drugovic pulls in just as Ollie Bearman is still waiting. He's still being held That was not good for us. We've got a problem for Drugovic's tyres as well on the back left. He's now being holed as everyone else comes past him. And yeah, that is the problem. We're being the last place on the grid. That was a disaster for both drivers. Brilliant. We're going to go attack. We're going to go attack with both drivers. We're just going to get this done. Get to the end of the sprint. I don't think we're picking up points. Unfortunately for us, it looks like VCARB Red Bull are. Damn it. So with 3 laps to go, it's changed to a wet condition track, but I don't think we're going to get much out of it, to be honest. There's no point in... I don't think there's much point in pitting and putting someone onto wet tyres. They're not going to make up that many spaces. I don't know if it's even going to stay wet. I don't think it is. Looks like it's just going to come below 4 again. So 3 laps to go. Rubbish. Right, the sprint race is done. There was nothing to come back for at the end. Ollie Bearman 14th, Philippe Drugovic 16th. Disappointing. I'm hoping that the actual race is in the dry. That's what we're relying on. Alright, so for qualifying, we're still on inters at the moment, which isn't dreadful. But the race is meant to be sunny and dry. So we shall see. Is this going to get drier? It's going to be a little bit drier in the middle. So I think we'll go then. It's 16 now, so in 10 minutes time is when we want to go out, basically. And of course everyone's had the same plans as us, haven't they, to come out when it's at its lowest wet level. So there we go. We've got Drugovic and Bearman out, both of them in a bit of free air. They should be okay to set a decent time here, but we'll see how they get on. We'll be right back. So the surface is getting wetter and we're in 6th and 9th, so I don't think people are going to improve on that. I don't want to go out and set another time. We've got Piastri. Hamilton will probably go above us. No, Hamilton goes 12th. Piastri should go faster than us, but at the moment it's not looking too bad. Verstappen's down in 14th. I'm sure he'll set another lap, but yeah, it's getting wetter, so in theory no one should set quicker times unless they hit dreadful traffic. Verstappen is in to come and get a new changeover. Sonoda is bottom at the moment. Who's out there doing quick laps? So fast lap is Gasly. Where's Gasly? He's just coming down the DRS straight. Albon as well is just coming into the last couple of corners. So we'll see if these come and improve, as Albon is currently 16th and doesn't improve by the looks of things. We've got Ricciardo on a fast lap, who's just coming to end his lap as well. Is he going to improve? No, nobody's improving. Okay, so with nobody improving, we finished 7th and 10th in Q1. That is pretty tasty. It's going to be another set of intermediate tyres in Q2 as well, apparently. But we'll have a quick check of the track. It's going to be pretty flat throughout. Is there a place in there where it gets a... No, I think that looks pretty consistent throughout. So we are going to follow these few cars out. Signs, we'll let Alonso go. I mean, everyone's going out early, so we might as well just grab onto the back of these here. Bearman may get a little bit of an issue being that close to Drugovic, but they should also be okay to not catch other drivers, because Norris isn't going to catch them. So here we go. Fast laps from Drugovic and Bearman. Let's hope we get into that top 10 at the moment. Drugovic and Bearman, no. So Bearman does. So the toe did help Ollie Bearman. Drugovic is there's only 1 second off Leclerc. That's not too bad. That might be because Bearman has the faster car as well. We'll see if the track gets a little bit drier. We might go out again. Okay, so the track has got 2mm or 3mm wetter now. So what we're going to do is send out Bearman first, and then we'll send out Drugovic like that. Everybody else is coming in off their lap, so I'm hoping that... No, we're going to hit loads of traffic. That was terrible timing, although most of it was hit on the DRS straight, so you never know. But Bearman is in 8th as we finish. Drugovic does improve, goes to 12th, so it looks like Philippe Drugovic is going to be going out of this one. And Ollie Bearman is going to be staying where he is by the looks of things. Lovely. One driver into Q3. So it is raining in Q3. It's going to get better in about 8 minutes. Yeah, about 7-8 minutes. Okay, so 7 or 8 minutes time. About 3 minutes to go. We'll go out for our lap. Okay, so everybody has just set a lap other than us, and now it's at the best time. It's still coming down, as you can see. We're following Leclerc out. He knows, although he's just had a little something there on one of the corners, and he's cancelled his lap. Now, Bearman got a bit of traffic, and he's come through, and he goes 6th fastest. Come on. Come on. Keep that up. Leclerc won't have enough time to do another lap, so we're not going to be bottom in Q3. It's just how will the other drivers do? A few people putting in faster laps, but it's looking pretty decent for Behrman, up in 7th after Q3. Come on. And it is no rain in the race, which is just what the doctor ordered. Exactly what we needed. Right, that is a slow strategy. I'll do the strategies. We will be right back. But the fact that it's not raining, I think, is going to suit us. We were quick in the sprint qualifying with no rain, so that's what we're relying on for this one. Okay, so it's a bit of a split strategy for the drivers. We're going to start Drugovic on softs to go to hard, then to mediums, and Behrman is going to do medium, hard, medium. Behrman is apparently a quicker strategy, but we're going to see how this one goes. The weather is meant to be good for the whole race. There isn't meant to be any rain at all. Let me just double check that, because sometimes I read it wrong. Yeah, no rain at all. We should be all good to go. Okay, let's get into the Austrian Grand Prix. So 5 red lights are up and they're out. Hopefully we get better starts than we did in the sprint. Although again, the Mercedes right behind it. Our starts are dreadful. I know we have one of the worst accelerating cars on the grid, but still, it's yeah, not great. Oliver Behrman up there surrounded by 2 Mercedes again, but sitting in 7th, not losing a place. Drugovic up 1. I think, from 13th to 12th, or did he start in 11th? I can't remember. But here is Ollie Behrman then. Hopefully no incidents. This is the corner he got pushed off last time. He's actually gone for a little move. I think we're going to... Let's get Ollie Behrman on high aggression at the beginning. Let's go for it. He's going for it past Lance Stroll. No, Fernando Alonso does a really good job there. Past Fernando Alonso, which is absolutely superb. Sits in nicely behind Lando Norris. Felipe Drugovic just losing a bit of pace to Charles Leclerc. Which is understandable, and Ollie Behrman just wanting to just rock with Lando Norris. Well, he wants to rock with both McLarens and both Red Bulls in this race, and I am all for it, to be honest. Let's just make sure that his fuel doesn't come too far out of whack, so we'll see how that goes. We'll keep the pressure on and we'll get the tyres in line for what we need them to do after probably lap 1 finishes, which is going to be pretty soon. I don't want Behrman to lose Lando Norris too quickly though, because I can't imagine anybody else is going to be running sort of light wear. Maybe they are all going to be doing this, but we'll have to wait and see. But a good start from Ollie Behrman, up into 6th, overtaking Fernando Alonso. Drugovic just about hanging on to back to Charles Leclerc as well, so not bad from both drivers. And we're going to keep Ollie Behrman on a bit more attacking for his overtake strategies, just see what he can do. Oh, and Ollie Behrman's been given a mechanical fault failure. It doesn't let us know what's really happened there. It's a minor fault with his ERS, not what he needed. We're going to have to buy him a new ERS in the next race, but that's going to cost him time. He is dropping off the back of Piastri now as Norris has climbed the order. But we've got the team instructions, or the car instructions, are where they need to be. Felipe Drugovic in 12th. Let's give him a push to see if he can go and get Daniel Ricciardo. I'm wondering, do we get him on high aggression as well? He needs to get ahead of the V-car Red Bull. That's the main thing, and then be behind Lewis Hamilton's DRS really, if he can. So both drivers doing all right at the moment. Ollie Behrman is still staying with Oscar Piastri, who's lost DRS in front, but hopefully his ERS doesn't conk out before the end of the race. Hopefully he does manage to keep it intact. Only 4 laps in, plenty of racing to go. So Drugovic has made the move on Daniel Ricciardo around the outside, and he's going to get DRS as well into that spot, which is lovely. Hopefully now he's got the pace to catch up to Lewis Hamilton. Oh, and before I even I came back from the replay, and Drugovic has overtaken Lewis Hamilton. No idea how it happened, but Felipe Drugovic has overtaken Lewis Hamilton, and now there we go. Let's watch it. Let's watch the replay, because he got it done. Coming down the DRS up on the inside, and yeah, on those soft tyres, gets it done on Lewis Hamilton. Lovely stuff from Felipe Drugovic, up into the points, up into 10th, but quite a long way off Charles Leclerc. So I imagine this is going to be quite a bit of DRS switching between Drugovic and Drugovic and Hamilton. Hopefully they pull themselves closer to Charles Leclerc, but I'm not sure if that's going to be the case. Meanwhile, Ollie Behrman is just about to be overtaken by Fernando Alonso, but with that mechanical fault, I don't think that's too much of a surprise. He just needs to sort of hang on in the DRS of the other drivers. Oh, Drugovic has just had a nightmare, losing 2 positions. He went slightly wide and then couldn't come on because of the traffic, and yeah, he's just been really slow coming back on. There you go. Trying to ease his way back into the traffic. He's had an absolute nightmare. He's dropped down to 14th, which is so disappointing from his good start. Alright, all hopes on Ollie Behrman with his mechanical fault. And he's a bit of a boat at the moment, holding up Oscar Piastri and Charles Leclerc. So we're just getting ready for Filipe Drugovic's pit stop, but Ollie Behrman's dropped down to 8th. It's a bit inflated because he's overtaken Perez in the pits, so yeah, we'll have to see what happens there. But he doesn't quite, I think the mechanical fault is stopping him from really battling with the cars in front. Hamilton and Alonso having a bit of a fight is keeping him in tow, but yeah, it's a pretty tough at the moment. Drugovic coming in onto the hard tyres, as is Behrman in another 3 laps, so should be okay. Sargent with the pit stop issue, Zhou in the pits as well. Drugovic, he's back on the tail of Bottas. Has Bottas pitted? No. So that's pretty good driving actually from Drugovic to get back up to 1 place away from the points. Again, Stroll behind him is going to be a bit of a nightmare, but I'm hoping that we can pit and maybe get a bit of an undercut with Drugovic. We'll have to wait and see as yeah, Behrman enters his pit window as well. But Drugovic will be pitting on this lap as he comes around the final couple of corners. He'll jump in now to the pit lane and hopefully has a good stop. So we are doing an undercut on Stroll, who is on the soft tyre as well, I think. No, he's on the medium. So the soft tyre did work for Drugovic. It got him up a number of positions, and then it was just, you know, he was forced wide and couldn't get back onto the track quick enough. So he's going to have to make hay while the sun shines. Why are we being held? Why are we being held? 6 seconds. All the tyres were on. Oh, we just don't get any luck. We're not having any luck in this series at all. Okay, we're relying on Ollie Behrman once again. Drugovic, right, let's have a quick check of Drugovic. Stop, I don't want that popping up anymore. There we go, Drugovic. So, in terms of cars around him, Albon has pitted, but Magnussen, Ocon, Gasly, Tsunoda, Bottas, Stroll all need to pit, so we could potentially make that time back. Let's push these tyres a little bit more than we would like. We're going to go a bit more of a push on the out laps and see what we can do. Get those tyres up to temperature, and hopefully he can get something done here. Come on, Philippe, you can do it. So Ollie Behrman also into the port. Tsunoda has a mechanical fault, which is quite interesting. Drugovic up to 17th, so he has taken advantage of some of the people coming into pit as well. We're hoping for a good stop here with Ollie Behrman. He's going to go onto the hards, but we're allowing him to push them a little bit more than what Drugovic is doing. But yeah, this could be interesting because Piastri's going to overtake him while he pits. He's down 2.7, not too bad. Hamilton and Alonso are battling as they pass Ollie Behrman. Is Russell going to make the pass as well? I think he might. Is Russell going to get around this corner quick enough? I think Ollie Behrman's going to be out in front of George Russell, which is huge for Ollie Behrman. Up into 9th, so we've gained a position by doing that, I think, because we're battling with Alonso, Hamilton and Russell. And Russell pitted before us, so the overcut worked really well there for Ollie Behrman, doing a great job. Now we can push these tyres for a little bit more and then get back onto the medium tyres and see how we go. But yeah, tyres are up to temperature. We can probably... He pitted on lap 25. You pitted on lap 20. Okay, so you're going to have 5 laps less, and we are still pushing Drugovic on the engine and the fuel front as well. So we'll just get that back in line. But okay, it's not dreadful. It's not dreadful. So Drugovic is actually doing a decent job of this now. He's caught back up to Bottas. Bottas is 21 seconds off Stroll, but Drugovic he's been lapped, but he's having a decent race here. He's having a decent race, Filipe Drugovic, after that incident. It just goes to show that if he hadn't had that error, he could have been absolutely flying. So we're going to just get him around Valtteri Bottas as quickly as we can by giving him the battery usage. He's been lapped, which is a little bit of a nightmare, but it does mean we don't have to worry too much about his fuel after being lapped. But with DRS and battery here, he should get this move done. Bottas goes defensive. But yeah, there we go. Drugovic is going to get him done very, very easily there. So now he's got a big old time to make up on Lance Stroll. But we shall see how that's going. Ollie Behrman in 9th. Russell was gaining on him. He hasn't quite managed to gain on Hamilton. He's also lost space to Alonso. So, yeah, it's going to be a pretty interesting race. You can see, actually, by the graph there, that Ollie Behrman's having better wear on his tyres than is expected in this race. So he's not doing too bad. We did push Drugovic a little bit harder, but both of them are in tyre temperature, so I'm happy at the moment. I think we're going to give a little bit of an extra boost to Ollie Behrman as well. Take off ERS battle assist for a little bit. Let him get a bit more of a boost of his tyres. Try and pull away from from George Russell if he can. He's just extended the gap to 1.6, which isn't huge. But, yeah, we'll see. We've pushed our tyres much more than George Russell, but we'll be going on to those mediums a little bit sooner than him, I imagine. But 43 laps down. He's and Drugovic has just lost the position to Bottas, who then got lapped again, I think, and had to pull over. So they're obviously in the midst of blue flags, which is also a little bit of annoyance. Oh, we've got a safety car. That's Albon's pit stop issue that we don't want to talk about. However, a crash involving multiple cars. Pierre Gasly's involved by the looks of things. Oh, is it both Alpines? It's Pierre Gasly at the front. Esteban Ocon catches him from behind. Oh, that could be both Alpines out, I think. And it is both Alpines out right now. Ollie Behrman was not far off his pit stop anyway, so you can come on to the mediums. He's got a massive gap to Drugovic. I think they just both come in and we try and nurse those mediums to the end and get a short pit stop under the safety car. I'm sure lots of other people are going to pit as well, but the leaders, I think, let's have a look. Is that going to... Yeah, so Charles Leclerc comes in. Max Verstappen didn't have a chance. Perez is in. Sainz is not in. They didn't want to double stack. Is Norris going to come in? Drugovic is in. Okay, so Drugovic was very well placed to get in there. So we can get him onto the mediums and see what he can do with that. So again, hopefully Drugovic just misses the row of cars that are going to try and come past him after his crash. But this could work out. Drugovic is going to be able to unlap himself under the safety car as well. And he's not held for very long in that one. Much better stop for Drugovic that time, as now we bring in Ollie Behrman. And Ollie Behrman's going to come in as he comes around the final two corners. The traffic is quite spread out, so this is going to cause... This is going to be interesting. This is going to be very interesting to see how this affects this race. Because Drugovic, is, you would imagine, is going to be quicker than the cars around him when we're all unlapped and everything like that. And Ollie Behrman, I don't know if he's going to be quicker. As long as we stay in front of Danny Rick, that's all we need to worry about. Danny Rick is not in yet. Ollie Behrman is in. He's having a stop 2.5. Not held at all. Really good stop from the team as Danny Rick is in. He's going to soft tyres. Sure, and he's being held. Excellent stuff. Surely that is not going to be... Surely those soft tyres can't get to the end. Is he on softs or hards? Am I being an idiot? There's a red line and then there's a white line. I think most people are going hards, aren't they, to the end? Yeah. I think Danny Rick is on hard. Yeah, he's on hards. Okay, most people are on hards. Verstappen, as the leader, comes in and comes out on hards. So it's us, Bottas, Piastri, Alonso, Behrman, Drugovic and Bottas are the people who are gambling on mediums, I guess you could say. Is it a gamble? We'll have to wait and see. Right, so lap cars have only just been able to overtake. So Drugovic and the other stragglers are just going to get lapped basically straight again, which is a little bit annoying. But the safety car is coming in. So we'll set Drugovic up to go. I think we're just going to run... It does say putting them on when we did at light we can get to the end. So we're going to go standard, and I think we're going to do the same here as well. Push the fuel, deploy the battery, see what we can do off this restart. Let's get on board. We've got is that another yellow flag under the safety car? That's impressive. But here we go. We're back racing with Ollie Behrman. Yep, Sargent crashed on turn 1 under the safety car, or as he got the safety car restart, I guess. But this could then be carnage into turn 1 after the restart, and we're on board with Ollie Behrman. And everyone navigates their way through. Has Ollie got enough? I don't think he's quite got enough to keep up with the faster cars in front. He is in the points at the moment, though. He is in the points at the moment, as into another sharp right-hander. He's got his race engineer, I think it's Sharon Collar, telling him to stay calm. He'll get it done eventually. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. Drugovic having a little push as well, looking at Lance Stroll as we can get on here. He's a bit far away at the moment. But yeah, I mean, Drugovic is already 1.8 seconds off Stroll, so that's annoying. But yeah, we're okay. We're okay. Let's just see if we can keep this going. We're in the points. At the moment, we're in the points and the V-car Red Bulls aren't, which is what we need. Logan Sargent has damage, says Behrman's race engineer. But yeah. We are keeping pace with Lewis Hamilton, just. I'm going to say that Ollie Behrman's mechanical issue is having a few problems for the car because George Russell has overtaken him from absolutely miles away. That's just battering him off the course, off the track. That's not an overtake, George Russell. Thank you very much. That is horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. It's going to leave us open for Danny Rick to have a go as well, which is annoying. So with, a 1 lap to go, basically, Verstappen will be starting his final lap pretty soon. We are in no man's land. Danny Rick has got us the mechanical failure, or the mechanical issues really hurt Ollie Behrman. He can't do very much with that damaged ERS. He's not been able to deploy and get as much speed as he'd like from the battery. Drugovich is 18 seconds off Stroll and 8 seconds in front of Valtteri Bottas. So both drivers, I think we've selected the right ones to get a payout. I think it was 11th and 13th is exactly what we needed. And we need the money. So both drivers just bring it home, no issues. In fact, we can probably even tell them to drop down to light. The tyre temperatures are fine. Don't take any risks. Just get this done. So Filipe Drugovich crosses the line in 13th, and Ollie Behrman here looks like he is going to get 11th. Unfortunately, Daniel Ricciardo is going to pick up a point for V-Carb Red Bull. But it means we'll be resulting in 6th place. We'll be staying in 6th place before we go to Silverstone, where we'll have another special livery coming on the car for our home Grand Prix. And yeah, there we go, 11th and 13th. So not dreadful, but I feel like we had pace in the car. We need to build up a foundation of money to allow us to buy the best components for both cars and not crash. All we need is the drivers not to crash, and neither of them crashed today, which is a positive. We're going to lose loads of money when we need to buy a new ERS system though for Ollie Behrman before the next race, most likely. Yeah, so we still sit in 7th. We're, 14 points off Red Bull, which isn't much. It's not much in the grand scheme of things. It's not too bad. We got some points in the fastest pit stop, which is the one we all want, really. Red Bull fucking V-Carb are beating us in that as well. But we are up there. That'll get us some money at the end of the season. We only had the one stop with an issue, which was an issue in car release. Yeah, not ideal. Oh, it was 12th or higher. We get $500,000. We get $500,000. Good. Excellent. I don't know why it's actually saying we've made 19. It's saying we've made nearly $1 million. I'll take it. I think it's paid that one out accidentally. Great. And Ollie Behrman has gone up to a 77. I was looking just before I recorded the video at how bad our drivers are compared to everybody else. They're really bad compared to everybody else. So we've had, oh my god, we've had a design centre fire. We've had a design centre fire. Design centre shut down for 8 days. Projects paused for 8 days. Brilliant. We're in debt. We're not in debt anymore because of that. Driver development updates. So they are improving. I mean, yeah, Ollie Behrman's had a big jump there. He's had a big jump. He's doing all right. Affiliates, I want to bin these off as soon as possible. They're costing us loads of money. And yeah, I mean, our car's high-speed performance made it a good fit for the track. Looking at the rest of the grid, our car underperforms on DRS effectiveness. Okay. British Grand Prix, we need solid high-speed performance, so that should be the focus. Our car is decent in that regard, so we're in a good place. However, side pods, okay, we've got a replacement for that. Everything else is okay, and then it was the ERS. It was the ERS. We've got a 32% one, which doesn't have a fault. I think we're going to run that ERS in practice, change it to the 32% one from the race, and we're going to have to drag these components out for as long as possible. But the good news is we don't need to manufacture anything before Silverstone. That is dreamland. That is absolute dreamland. I mean, the cars aren't the same, right? We could really do with chassis number 3 on car number 1. We could definitely do with rear wing number 2 on both cars. Underfloors, I think we could do with underfloor 3 on both cars as well. And we do have suspension number 2. So there's things we need to manufacture, but the fact we haven't had to emergency manufacture anything is absolute money. That is absolutely class. With the manufacturing then, the chassis, how much does the chassis cost? The chassis costs $550. So can't afford that. We could do a front wing. We've got that on both cars. Could do a rear wing. And it takes 3 days. I think we have to, right? We have to get the performance boost. Let me just quickly check. Rear wing. So we have none of them. So we can get one of them on a car. That's on both cars. That's good. Underfloor takes 8 days. I think if we rush it, it's too expensive. Yeah. And it wouldn't be done in time anyway. Okay. Okay. Right. The underfloor is the huge one we need. That is what gives us the biggest boost. But that's not going to be ready. So I think what we do is we give Ollie Behrman, because he is the favourite. Yeah, we can't do 2. It's rushing it's going to leave us with 58,000. No, so we might as well just do 1. Leaves us with a little bit of money in the bank. And it will be ready for Silverstone. And we'll put that on Ollie Behrman's car, which is great. So he will get a boost. What will he get with that? He's in car number 2, right? So that's going to put him up 4 places in top speed, 6 places in DRS effectiveness, and better medium speed cornering as well. Which is awesome. Which is really, really good. We do need... Yeah, okay. Ollie Behrman's going to be by far and away having the better car, which is good. That's the end of the episode. We need to make up points on RB. I think we may. It's only 4 days, so we're not going to get our... Can I look at the calendar? Is there a way to look at the calendar and it shows you what's coming? I think there is, right? Calendar. Is it... What's this one? New regulations vote after Silverstone. Oh, board performance review happens after Budapest, before Belgium, and then we get a new sponsor plan with a bit of money, and then we have the big summer break. Okay, so it comes just before Belgium. So points in Silverstone and Budapest would be absolutely epic, wouldn't it? Right, we'll catch you for the next episode, which will be Silverstone. See you then. Cheers.